big news out of Microsoft again. This time from their Xbox division. Have you heard of the big shakeup there at Xbox Tower?
I heard about it.
Series
I heard
X.
about it via text from you.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm better than Twitter when it comes to
source. Usually it's hey, this person died, or this game is terrible. this studio closed, or this person died. That usually are the news updates.
Yeah. So right now we're recording this on the Wednesday the 25th. But Friday the 20th, big news came out from Xbox that their head of Microsoft Gaming, the CEO, the legendary Phil, where are the games, Phil Spencer.
Let's just go and tackle the exclusivity question, because I know it's on the minds of a lot of people. We hear from the community, and that's an important input for us.
Will be retiring effective immediately, it kind of sounds like. It was very odd that this announcement came about on a Friday, later in the day, right before the weekend.
That's usually when you fire people.
Let's keep that in mind here. There was some discussion last summer that Phil Spencer was possibly thinking about retiring in the upcoming future and stuff like that. I think that was like Summer Games Fest or something like that, I suppose. It was around some convention, and then months and months and months, no news, nothing happening. It's like, okay, it's business as usual at Microsoft, and then all of a sudden, boom, out of the blue, hey, Phil Spencer is retiring. And it's like, well, it's kind of like if you're going to retire, don't you kind of say, hey, Phil is retiring, he's going to still be here for X amount of months, and then this will be his last day, instead of just like, Phil's retiring.
And he's done. Bye. Goodbye.
And he's done. Yeah. So it's very kind of odd. In addition to that, Microsoft's that president, Xbox president Sarah Bond, who'd only been in the position I think for about 3.5, possibly 4 years, she was also leaving. I think of her own accord. I don't think she was let go of or anything, but it sounds like based upon the event that was happening with Phil leaving, she's kind of like, I'm going to be taking off also because I kind of don't want to be here anymore. So it's very odd. Upon that, Microsoft had already gone ahead and picked somebody to replace Phil Spencer. So I guess instead of them wanting to go and pick Sarah Bond and moving her up, I guess I would assume probably behind the scenes they told her like, yeah, we are not going to get the position. She's like, well, I don't really see a purpose for me staying around anymore.
So this article from Tom Warren at The Verge. So Xbox fans have been anticipating the retirement of Phil Spencer for years, but what most hadn't expected was the departure of Sarah Bond too. Bond seemed like Spencer's natural successor, a deputy of sorts. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella and Microsoft CFO Amy Hood clearly didn't agree. So Asha Sharma, former Microsoft AI executive, is now the head of Xbox. The decision to overlook Bond may have surprised many Xbox fans, but for more than a dozen current or former Xbox employees I've been speaking to, it felt inevitable in recent months. So internally, it seems like everyone knew something was coming. Phil Spencer, Microsoft's long-term Xbox chief, made the decision to resign from Microsoft last year after a tough few years from Xbox. So he internally had already given his notice, it sounds like.
Yeah. What's weird about it, though, personally, is that if the decision was made by Phil that he was going to be leaving, why wouldn't Microsoft Xbox kind of release a press statement, a couple months ago saying, hey, this arbitrary Friday in the middle of February is when Phil Spencer is going to be officially retiring from Microsoft.
Well, it also says last summer Microsoft responded to rumors of Spencer's retirement, saying at the time that he was not retiring anytime soon, unquote. End quote. Microsoft's core AI president, okay, whatever. So a year ago,
Yeah.
they were like, nope. This was published July of 2025, so less than a year ago.
Okay.
So that is questionable then, that he gave his notice. I could see him being like, I don't want to do a whole like fanfare thing. I just want to retire quietly and go away, because that's what I would do. I don't
And play Sony games.
So that doesn't seem particularly strange to me. But the fact that that in July of 2025 they were saying he's not retiring anytime soon, that's pretty suspicious. I mean, I guess though, I mean, like if he had already given notice and was like, I'm retiring in the middle of February, it is weird though. February, 2 months into the new year, that is kind of suspicious. But why would you let it get to that point? It's all weird to me.
Yeah. And then also during that time, I mean, Sarah Bond had already been there for several years as the president of Xbox. So, you know, she would have known about this also. Possibly, but granted the fact that, you know, Phil just being like, hey, I'm going to be, I don't know how much communication he had, or the relationship was between him and Sarah were, but, you know, she probably would have gotten some sort of inkling that he would be leaving and probably trying to be like, okay, well, I'm wondering when that discussion is going to come to me from Nadella about stepping up and taking the role over from Phil. But now that it seems like it's a very quick thing, like, oh no, we're going to be going a different direction and we're not going to be having you take over the reins from Phil. We have somebody else here waiting in the wings to basically do that. So now they have both a new, you know, CEO of Xbox Gaming and then also no president of Xbox itself, and bring in basically somebody whose big background has been with AI, which that already there, given the current climate in a lot of different forms of entertainment, is kind of a sticky situation from a gamer's perspective.
Looking ahead, next year marks 25 years of Xbox. It's a big milestone for the platform and franchises that you help build and make popular.
I feel like the 360 was just this weird accident where randomly you had developers that were in their prime, Halo and Bungie, or Bungie with Halo.
Yeah.
And it was just a different world for gamers. And the thing that Xbox was offering was very attractive to gamers in 2005.
Yeah, a perfect melding of games and also online gaming.
I mean,
experience.
Microsoft in general always just seems kind of incompetent, like all the time. Like look at Windows 11. Like there were things in Windows 11 that I am baffled that are still broken, that were broken in Windows 10, and they're still broken. And it's shit that, for all of Apple's faults, Apple seems to know how to create a cohesive operating system, and Microsoft cannot. For the billions of, what is it, $3 trillion of the value of Microsoft or something, that they can't. So how can you be that big of a company with that talented of developers and still in dark mode? I get white flash when I open a new tab or a new window in File Explorer. Like that's crazy bad design. That's still, it was bad in Windows 10 and it's still bad. So it's just like Microsoft is just stupid. I think this is where we're disagreeing. You're going with malicious thoughts and I'm going with stupidity thoughts. As in, don't ascribe
maliciously
well,
stupid.
that's a whole other issue.
An incompetent
I would say
villain.
that at a certain point, stupidity is malicious. I think that that at a certain point, the refusal to better yourself as a company or as a person and just remain stupid, that is evil in and of itself. But in this case, I'm just going with the like, don't ascribe to malice what can be explained by ignorance and stupidity. So it's not that Microsoft and Xbox are being like, ha ha ha, let's fuck with gamers. It's more they're just being like, if I punch myself in the face, will gamers like it more? Let's just fire the two people in charge and maybe we'll get new results, even though the problem is just like fundamental to the culture of Microsoft and Xbox. That's kind of what I'm getting at is I just don't know that I think that they're smart enough to be that conniving.
What is your thoughts about so this Sharma person, she's already at Microsoft. She's heading one of their, she has their AI, one of their AI units or the AI unit or something like that. What are your thoughts on them promoting somebody who does AI to their gaming division?
I think is
it just because it's the trendy thing to do because they're all in on the AI thing, or is it that they're thinking that maybe she would work out for the gaming division?
Like Sharma was clearly ready for that reaction. As monetization and AI evolve and influence this future, we will not chase short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop, she said in a memo.
But that's what AI is.
That's what it can be abused to be.
Right. But that's basically what the going public.
Well, that's okay. So that's what I was going to say is that regardless of what their motivation was for promoting an AI person into this position, it's hilarious on the heels of the Microsoft CEO saying we need to take a step back and pump the brakes on AI. Nobody likes Copilot. Nobody likes our AI shit being pushed into Notepad and MS Paint and all of that shit. So yeah, it's just like, we were talking before we recorded the show, just how many games are terrible now and low effort and
very lackluster. Yeah.
And just kind of, what was the one that just...
High Guard.
So, what is this? Here we go. Former High Guard developer reflects on disastrous announcement and launch. We were turned into a joke from minute one. The hate started immediately. Okay, but here's the thing. All of these developers are all being like, oh, people hated us before they even played the game. Well, why? Why did they hate you as soon as they saw it? Like, why is there this instant repulsion to the thing you're developing? Like, why don't they ask that question to themselves as a company and say, okay, everyone hates this and they haven't even played it yet. And it's this, like, they build themselves up to think that there's nothing wrong with it. And then just lash out at the audience.
Yeah. I think it was, that initial trailer that occurred during the Game Awards. I think that's called, it's just called the Game Awards. Where it was like that, like at the very end of the show, and it was like this like surprise trailer. And they released it, and people are like, oh, it's another first-person hero shooter that's going to come out and try to make its own little niche and compete against all these other ones that have come out recently or in years past, and many of them have pretty much withered away and stuff like that. So I think that was kind of the thing once people were like, and yes, trailers don't necessarily give you like a good idea as to what the gameplay is and stuff like that, but I think based upon that, people are like, oh, it's following beat for beat these certain types of, bullet points of what makes up a hero shooter. So then when they got a little bit more information about it, some, gameplay footage, and then the release date, people played it, refunded it after about half an hour, 40 minutes, and they were like, yeah, it's pretty much what we were expecting it to be.
I mean, that's...
without really any type of big, changes or fixes to the genre.
I think that these people thought, I mean, it's these developers think that just showing up is good enough. And
right. Toxic positivity.
It is a toxic positivity. Like I believe me, I totally understand working on something and people hate it. And like you spent years or months working on something and you put it out there and you're hoping for it to be something big. And there are two scenarios, either, and I don't know which one is worse actually, either people just outright hate it or it just gets completely ignored and disappears. These are two scenarios. I think that the hate is worse. Getting ignored is frustrating. Getting hated is probably more draining. So I get that. I get it from a creative standpoint, and these developers being like, like this guy's saying, we spent 2.5 years working on this game and everybody hates it. But but there's it's not just because it became a meme. Because here's the thing. Everybody loves to hate shit, and then they also love the redemption of the thing. So if this game would have come No Man's Sky. If this game would have came out and been like, oh wow, this is fun and interesting and cool, it would have been like some streamer would have picked it up and been like, oh, this is fun, let's watch this. Hey, everyone's talking shit about this, I'm going to be the contrarian and tell you how good it is. And then other people are going to start playing it and be like, oh, it is fun. And then it snowballs. All you needed was one big streamer to be like, hey, it's not even say it's not that bad, but just say it's a good game. It didn't happen. And everything I've seen, no, have I played it? No, I don't play any of these kind of games. That's the other problem. These games are getting phased out anyway. Like you've got, if you're not Fortnite or Marvel Rivals or is Karkarov, whatever that game is. What's the Russian shooting? Tarkov. Is that still popular?
Tarkov, yeah. It kind of is. That's kind of like in that whole, that's part of that extraction shooter.
Like Arc Raiders. Yeah. That game.
Arc Raiders that's currently the big one. That's the one that seemed like Tarkov's kind of had its own thing, but yeah, Arc Raiders is the one that seems to be more accessible and seems to be more of a I would say fan base or easier access as opposed to like something like Tarkov. But there's other types of games that are within that same genre, which also at a certain point is going to start getting oversaturated. And like Highlander, you can have only one.
Is Apex still popular at all?
I think to a certain degree, that's another like hero shooter and stuff, but that's still, it's also got the Titanfall universe.
Yeah, but nobody cares.
Type of, prestige
nobody cares
pedigree with it. Yeah.
The people who play it don't care about Titanfall.
Just say Smith again. It don't matter. None of this matters.
It's not the Bungie.
The original Bungie's been dead for years.
Yeah. And it's not even the Bungie that launched like Destiny 1 or 2 or anything like that. It's the turnover in this industry is, the studio name still exists, but a lot of the personnel just
it's fun. It's funny though, because wasn't Highguard made by people who did Titanfall?
I believe so. I don't know. Maybe there was something about that in that article, but I think that I had heard something about that there was some people from what was that, Respawn, who did, which pretty much just does Apex Legends now.
They made a Star Wars game, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was one that
Jedi Outcast? I don't think it was the Outlaws one. Maybe it was the Jedi one.
Oh, wait. Respawn Star Wars FPS is canceled.
Oh, okay. Maybe not. They haven't done it. But yeah, I think at this point it's sort of like we're kind of treading water in terms of what the next big genre of video game is going to be. And right now, I think what it is that like the AAAs, they're not doing anything. I think the AA's are the ones that are kind of becoming popular. You can say like, okay, Baldur's Gate 3 was popular. AA, Clair Obscura was another big AA. So I think those kind of like, lower tier ones that are giving you better bang for your buck in terms of, gameplay enjoyment and replayability is what's going to be the more popular thing for people to go
Star
for.
Wars Jedi, Fallen Order, and Survivor. Those are games by Respawn. So they were the ones that people liked.
Okay.
It wasn't the ones that people didn't like.
Okay. Well, that's good. They had a couple of hits there.
Well, it's
but I think also like a lot, the industry itself has kind of just become very cocky over the years and just takes players for granted and just expect us to just eat up slop. And just because people review, but like, yes, there are people that will waste time and go and review bomb, but also there's a lot of people that are just like, I played it, I didn't really care for it. They say that, many at launch we received over 14,000 review bombs from users with less than an hour playtime. Many didn't finish their required tutorial. That's something right there. That last sentence is something I cannot stand in games, where you have to play this arbitrary bullshit tutorial where it's like, press this to open a door, do this to shoot the weapon, do this for...
No,
it's like...
Well, I just like that it's like, I can't believe people stopped playing the thing that they hate to do and didn't like the game because of it. See, that it's that kind of arrogance, like you said, and ignorance, where it's like, you should know better than this. You should, and yes, a lot of games do this, but the trick is to make the tutorial fun and compelling, and that will make people engage with it, as opposed, especially if it's a free-to-play game, which is even easier to just say, fuck this, I don't want to do it.
Does any of this make any sense? Just tell me, just say yes. Okay, what you're doing there is jumping. You just jumped. But never mind, say apple. Apple. Okay, you know what? That's close enough. Just hold tight.
The thing is, okay, like, what's more indie examples? Undertale is another one. Silk Song is another one. A lot of these games, in particular, this game, High Guard, it's like people who saw the Game Awards, and let me tell you, there's not that many to watch the Game Awards. There's more people who like watch the review and response videos the day after than actually watch the Game Awards. They wouldn't even have known about this game, quite frankly, unless they watched that. So that's already a small audience, and everybody else, like, how many people honestly like had wish listed this game without having seen that Game Awards thing? I don't think there were that many, really. So you're already working with a very small group of individuals that even had a slight interest in wanting to play that game. I just don't
understand how you can be given that slot for that in that award show, and then blow it that bad and not take some like reflection of, oh wow, this trailer that we thought was super cool made people hate the game. What is it about what's in this trailer that makes people hate the game?
Mm-hmm.
I know, it's maybe,
and it's like Principal Skinner saying it's the children.
I mean,
that are wrong.
I get it. If you want to be like, no, the players are all wrong. Like, the audience is wrong. The audience can be wrong. The audience is often wrong.
Yeah.
But having a meltdown on Twitter is not the best way to handle that.
And it's like, what's going to happen then the next time? Because, if you come out with another product, there are going to be people who remember your attitude and your response to your previous game the first time around. So are they even going to give you the slightest chance to, try to, I don't know, redeem yourself or try to fix whatever you've done the first time incorrectly?
Why, there are no children here at the 4-H club either. Am I so out of touch? No, it's the children who are wrong.
This is all from launch 4 weeks ago. No. 2 months ago, reveal trailer, and then launch trailer. So there was no like, welcome to the world of High Guard. You can do things. Check out my horse. My horse is amazing.
Look at my horse is amazing. Give it a lick. It tastes just like raisin.
I'm not on their pay logs. But I know that they had done that.
You were on the
like,
flight
well,
logs.
this is what you do in the games. Oh God.
Well, best of luck to everyone that got laid off from the High Guard team. I'm sure that you'll land on your feet working for Microsoft or Xbox or something. Maybe you can go work for Bethesda. Help them with their next game.
That's true.
Fallout 6 or Fallout 5 coming in, 2038? Is that what you told me?
That's sure. They're gonna put Todd. Todd's gonna be one of those cryostasis pods, like the what was his name? What was he called? The Survivor, Lone Survivor in Fallout 4.
You know what I find?
They're just gonna.
You know what I find very upsetting? No, about life. Character? There's gonna be like new Fallout games after I'm dead. I find that very upsetting. Because what if they're...
Yeah, but if you think... I don't know if they're going to be good,
It's true. Well, the way things are going, there will be no good video games ever again. I think if Half-Life 3 ever gets released, that will be the last good video game, and it'll just be downhill. I'll put it this way, Alex. I'm sorry to say this to you.
Yeah.
Now with my beefy computer, I tried to play... Cyberpunk again. It's not working for me. No.
Not working.
I'm sorry, senpai.
That's okay.
I was trying to do the I started over and I got to after the tutorial. I customized my penis and then I did the tutorial level and then I was going to raid that apartment building at the very beginning. I did the street kid path. And I was in the apartment building and I was shooting at somebody and I was like, I don't want to do this. So you know what game I played? Mm-hmm. Adobe Premiere 2026. It was the game I decided to play.
Jesus.
So Half-Life 3. But no, but I was thinking about this. I was like, these franchises, the way that they go, there's going to be a Half-Life 4 and Fallout 12 and Star Wars Episode 18. Like, all these franchises are going to keep going after I'm dead, and I find it very upsetting.
Yeah. And they're still going to be raising money for Star Citizen 1.